بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد الطيب الطاهر الأمين وعلى آله وصحابته والتابعين له بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. وبعد, all praise belongs to Allah, the dispenser of good and the sustainer of the universe. We beseech Allah Ta'ala to send His blessings upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we ask that he extends our humble greetings to him. We are grateful for the beautiful blessing of Islam, as well as for the many favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we ask Allah Ta'ala that we never forget his favors nor take his mercy for granted. Today, beloved brothers and sisters, is another reminder during these last 10 days of the blessed month of Ramadan, the days of emancipation from the fire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us protection from the torment of Jahannam, from the fire. May Allah ta'ala give us protection from the torment of Jahannam. May Allah ta'ala give us protection from the torment of Jahannam. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to emancipate us and our families, and protect us and our families and our loved ones from the torment of the Day of Judgment and the torment of the fire. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Beloved brothers and sisters, in continuation with some of the ideas that we've been hitting upon, or I've been hitting upon during these reminders, hopefully the thread is consistent in that the most important thing to remember all the time, not just during the month of Ramadan, but all the time. The most important thing to remember is that we are in a temporary place, that the dunya that we are living in and experiencing is a temporary place, and that our existence in the dunya and our experience in the dunya is through our souls, that we are souls, and our bodies are what exists in this material realm and experience the things of this material realm, and our souls are the witnesses. But our reality is our soul. Our reality is our soul. And so we have to remind ourselves of this. And we have to remember that although we are to live this life and to partake of this life, that we should never become complacent with this life as if this life is all there is and that there is nothing else to come, because there is. Because there is a life to come. And we should strive to have a balance in this understanding. I mean, some people are critical of this notion. They think that, when we say prepare for the next life, that it somehow suggests that we abdicate our responsibilities and our duties, in fact. We have a duty to live in this world in the best way, right? But the balance of it is that we don't live in this world at the expense of preparing for the next world. We don't let the life of this world distract us so much that we neglect to prepare for what is to come. And there is a hadith. Some would argue that it's not a hadith and simply some words of wisdom, but the meaning of it, what it suggests is that, it says in the Arabic, اعمل لدنياك كأنك تعيش أبدا. So you work for this life as if you're going to live forever. وَاعْمَلْ لِآخِرَتَكَ كَأَنَّكَ تَمُوتُ غَدًا. And that you work for your next life as if you're going to die tomorrow. So this is the mindset, this is the understanding that yes, I must do my share of work for this life and for the things of this life. Because by being in this life, I have a right to the things that are of the good of this life. right? But I have to be balanced in the sense that I don't let my working in this dunya distract me from what my reality is. And that my reality is that I'm passing through this dunya, and that my existence in this life is temporary, right? And so I invest in my next life as with urgency, as if I'm going to leave this life tomorrow. May Allah Ta'ala give us this balanced state. Ameen. But one of the keys to having this balance is in the idea that we stay connected to Allah, that we stay connected to God, that we cultivate a relationship, that we build a relationship. Now, of course, some of how we do this is captured in our attention to our daily prayers, our salah, right? And the frequency of the movements of surrender in salah, which condition us to remember, to reflect on our temporariness in this world. And the fact that there's the force that is greater than us calls us to surrender to him every day, 5 times a day. But in addition to that, working outside of the salah on staying in a state of consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because, some folks say, well, I'm not a religious person, right? Because they connote religiosity with a lot of stuff associated with superficial movements, right? But this is not the consciousness of Allah Ta'ala that we are seeking, because that consciousness, that awareness, that connectedness to Allah is a matter of the heart. And so I wanted to share with everyone today a reading from Taj al-Arus. And Taj al-Arus is translated as the Bride-Groom Crown. And it's one of the writings of the mystic Ibn Ata'illah al-Iskandari. And he says on this idea of staying connected to God, your sun will not shine until you establish an interaction with God. Thus, donate in charity every day, even if but a quarter or a morsel of food, so that God can enter you in the registry of the donators to charity. And recite the Quran every day, even if but a verse, so that God can enter you into the registry of reciters. Offer supererogatory prayers at night, even if but 2 units, so that God can register you among the keeper of vigils. And do not dare make the mistake of saying, how can a person who has barely enough provisions for his day-to-day needs donate in charity? For God has said, let those of means donate according to their means, and those of limited resources, let them spend according to what God has given them. And this is a verse from the Quran, Surah 65, verse 7. Then he continues on saying, spending on the indigent is like having a pack animal that carries your provisions to the afterlife. So here at the end of the statement, he captures the importance of charity, of giving, of cultivating giving, right? So important to combat the urge to be selfish. And selfishness, excessive selfishness, can lead to greed. And greed is an abhorrent state, right? And so the way that we fight the selfishness of the ego self is that we give charity. Charity is a form of purification of our wealth. And charity is not limited to having a lot of resources, a lot of money to give away. Charity is also your charity of spirit and what you are willing to give of yourself. And it's interesting that Ibn Ata'illah says that spending on those in need is like having an animal, having a chest of resources, or having a car full of things that carry your provisions to the next life. This is how impactful giving charity is. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us charitable people, giving people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala connect us to Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us to cultivate our relationship with Allah and to find security and safety and comfort and inner peace in our relationship with God. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all of the best of this month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give to those who have done as much as they can, and give to those who have done a lot, give to those who have done a little. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encourage those who are not encouraged. May we take advantage of these last few days. If we haven't been able to in the past days that have gone by, may Allah ta'ala give us the intuition and the motivation to get the best out of the remaining days of the month of Ramadan. Thank you for listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.